one, so I'm going to make it a long one.
Okay.
We're going to do this. I'm going to do the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I usually do it bore everybody with it in November, but who knows? I might not be here in November, so I'm going to... Remember? Remember the chords? It's actually kind of A suspended, E minor, G, D.
E minor.
Yeah, it's like A, only the first two. Instead of the full A, them two. Whoops. Oh, the legend lives on from the Chippewas on down to the big lake they call Gitchigumi. You know the big lake, it's said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than Edmund Fitzgerald would empty. That good ship and crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November come early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from Zumville in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, she was bigger than most, with a crew and a good captain well seasoned. In concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms, when she left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night, when the ship's bells rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? You know the wind and the wires made a tattletale sound when the waves broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, was a witch of November come stealing. And the dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November come slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the wake of a hurricane west wind. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, "Fellows, it's too rough to feed ya." Then at 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in, said, "Fellows, it's been good to know ya." And the captain wired in, he had water coming in, and a good ship and crew was in peril. Then later that night, when the ship's lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the wave turned the minutes to hours? The searchers all say that they'd made Wetfish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. Where they might have split up or they might have capsized, where they may have broke deep and took a water. But all that remains are the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls and Superior sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansion. And Michigan steams like a young man's dream, her islands and bays of a sportsman. and farther below Lake Ontario takes inward Lake Erie can send her. As the big freighters go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailors' Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Well, the legend lives on from the Chippewas on down to the big lake they call Gitchigumi. The big lake, it's said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, you guys want an encore? Let's hear it for an encore if you want one.
An encore.
You must have another one.